Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things and welcome to another video, and today I'm here to announce my TBR Clear Out Readathon. So, the TBR Clear Out Readathon is a new readathon that I'm going to be hosting for the first time this year for the whole month of April. It's going to be a month-long readathon. That is apparently the only length that I like readathons for. I think basically I just think like a week or 2 weeks is not enough time for you to fully get into all of the things that you want to read and to like fully participate in a readathon. And I just feel like a month is a good amount of time. So we're going to do a month again. I'm calling this the TBR Clear Out Readathon, which is a slightly wordy mouthful of a name, but I don't know what else to call it. So we're just going to go with that. The hashtag will be hashtag TBR Clear Out. Quite straightforward. And the premise is quite simple. The idea of the readathon is to get to those books on your TBR, on your to be read shelf, whether it's a physical shelf or like in your head, on paper, whatever. Get to the books on your TBR that you have been neglecting. This is going to be a very casual readathon. It is going to be very different from the other two readathons I host, Jane Austen July and Victober, in that it's going to be very informal, very casual. There are no challenges at all apart from the basic premise. I am not going to be vlogging or doing any special content, although I probably will be very active on Instagram during the month because I'm planning to read quite a lot. I'm hosting it on my own. I don't know if I'm ever going to host it again. It might be a one-off thing, or I might like host it every year. I have no idea. It might be in a different month every year. I'm not sure. Basically, the idea is, as I said, to get to those books on your TBR that you have been neglecting. Last August, I did this for a month. Basically, I just picked a lot of books off my shelves that I wasn't very excited about, that I'd either had for a while or that I bought and kind of forgot about, or that I just wasn't very interested in, that I knew I wouldn't get to unless I made myself get to them. And I read them in August, and some of them were not great. There were quite a few 3-star reads that I've since given to charity shops, but there were also one book especially that was an absolute 5-star, one of my favourite books of the year, and another one that I also really liked. So I did read some kind of hidden gems from my shelf, and I also like got my physical TBR down quite a lot in that month by doing that. And the initial thought behind this challenge when I did it last August was that like I don't have that much space on my bookshelves. I don't really have space for any more books. And the way that I want to make space for more books is by getting rid of some of the books that I have. And in general, if I read a book that I don't love, that's sort of 3-star or below, I take it to a charity shop and I don't keep it. If I think there's no chance I'm gonna reread it or talk about it a lot in a video in the future, then I don't want to keep it. But the books on my shelves that I am the most likely to not love, because I've grown out of them, or because I don't like that author as much as I used to, or because it's not my thing and someone gave it to me as a gift. Those books that I could feasibly read and then potentially get rid of half of them if I don't love them, those books are the books that I'm not reading because I'm not excited about them. And if I read them, I might be able to give half of them away to charity and then I would have more space on my shelves. That was the initial thought behind this challenge. And I really enjoyed doing that last August, and I thought it would be nice to do it again 1 month this year. I have picked April, partly because during April I'm going on holiday, and I'm going on a holiday where I should have a lot of time to read, so I thought that would be quite a good time, because I'll be doing a lot of reading anyway, and also because I'll be on holiday I probably won't be doing much reading for work. If you don't know, I work for a publisher, so I have a lot of work reading to do most of the time, but if I'm on holiday then I don't have that. So another good reason to like get my TBR down that month. And I thought as I was going to do this challenge for myself again, I might just make it into a readathon and invite you guys to join in as well. So, as I said, the only thing you have to do to participate in this readathon is to read some books on your TBR that you've been putting off for a while. And you know, you can either just pick like 1 or 2 books off your TBR that you feel like you've been neglecting and read them and you've participated, or you can read books that you've been neglecting for the whole month. I am gonna more or less try and read just books for this readathon for the whole month. There is at least one like buddy read I've got planned, which is not a book that would otherwise be on this TBR. And I also listen to a lot of audiobooks, and most of my audiobooks are newer acquisitions. They're not things I've been neglecting. But the majority of things that I read in the month of April are going to be specifically for this readathon. So I would say there are like 3 main ways that you could do this challenge and participate in this readathon. One is to just pick off your shelf some books on your TBR that you're not very excited about and you feel you wouldn't get to without a push or without some particular reason, which is what I did last August. I just picked off books that I've been putting off for a really long time that I wasn't that interested anymore. Maybe I got them as a present or I'd been sent them for review back when I started my channel and I used to accept things more readily, or it was a book that like I bought on a whim, or it was a cover buy, or it was a present and I just didn't know much about it, or I just wasn't fussed about it. All of those things, you can just select some books from your shelf that you feel like you're not very excited about and you need to push to read. The other thing you could do is pick the books that have been on your TBR the longest, whether they're books that have been on like your physical shelves the longest or they're books you've been meaning to read for the longest time. That's quite a nice way that you could do this challenge as well. Just literally pick the books that you have had the longest. And then the other way I think you could do this challenge is if, like me, you happen to have a TBR jar, which I know quite a few people on BookTube do. So in this jar I have, on folded up slips of paper, the names of all of the books on my shelves that I acquired before Christmas 2019. And every month for the whole year I pick out one book and I read that. But I could, if I wanted to, for April, make all my choices from this jar. I think I'm probably going to do a mixture of all three of these. I think I'm partly going to pick some books off my shelves that I'm not very excited about. I think I'm partly going to pick some of the books that have been there the longest, which are often the ones I'm not that excited about, and that's why they've been there for such a long time. And then I think I'm also probably going to pick like 3 or 4 of my choices out of the TBR jar as well. Because, as I said, I am going on holiday in April, that may mean that I don't read many hardbacks because they'll take up too much space or be too heavy in my suitcase. So I might end up going with more of the paperbacks I haven't read that I'm not that excited about, rather than the hardbacks I haven't read that I'm not that excited about. But I don't think I have that many hardbacks I haven't read, so we will see. Today I really just wanted to tell you about this readathon, tell you that it's happening, what the premise is, and invite you all to join in if you would like to. As I said, this is going to be a very low-key readathon. It's going to be very casual. There is only one challenge. There is only the central premise of the readathon. I have made a Goodreads group, but I am not necessarily planning to be as active on it as I would for like Jane Austen July or October, partly because I will be away for some of April. But on that I will make like a TBR discussion board so you can discuss what you're planning to read, and then like a currently reading one so people can discuss what they're reading as they go along. The hashtag, as I said, will be TBR clearout, so if you would like to join in, please do post about it on BookTube or Instagram or your blogs or wherever. Let me know if you would like to join in. I hope you do. I'm going to be making a TBR video which will be up sometime near the end of March, and if you would like to join in, please do post your TBRs. I hope that all sounds good and that people are interested and excited and that some of you would like to take part. I appreciate that this is a slightly weird premise for a readathon, to read the books on your shelf that you're not excited about. But I think sometimes, especially for those of us, a lot of us on BookTube who read a lot and acquire lots of books, sometimes we end up with books that have been on our shelves for years that we can't really remember why we bought them, and there is a very realistic chance that we will never read them and that they will sit there forever, even though they could be like one of our favourite books of all time and we would never know. Such as And the Mountains Echoed, which I read in January, which I have owned for like 5 or 6 years and was genuinely one of the best books I've ever read, and I just hadn't picked it up. Like, sometimes you just need to make yourself read some of those books that you've been neglecting because they might be amazing and you might just not know because you're never going to pick them up. That is what this readathon is for. Please let me know down in the comments if you'd like to take part in this readathon. I hope some of you will be with me to read books that we're not excited about in April. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.